Hello, fellow aspirants. This is Aditya Sharma again with a new set of current affairs for the date 18 September. Firstly, we'll go with the editorials and then we'll follow up with the news. So, first article which I came across is the continuing distribution of the death penalty, written by Saresh Kumar. In this editorial, they have discussed about the recent bill which has been passed by West Bengal government, Aparajita Women and Child Bill 2024, which gives death penalty in cases of rape. This bill seeks amendment in BNS, hence was sent for the presidential assent by the governor. According to data which has been listed here, Central Crime Bureau record has noted 31,500 cases of rape, and highest among these states is Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh. There has been global agencies with advocates. This article is basically the death penalty is whether it should be given or not. And citing this problem, there has been data by Amnesty International, a renowned organization. It says 55 countries in the world still have death penalties in their criminal laws as a punishment. So for that, there has been given some data in this also that there has been in 2023, 120 120 death sentence has been recorded, but very few have been given death sentence. Rather, the prisoners rather they die in the prison or they suffer from mental illness. These prisoners are actually from the marginalized section. That makes it more worry. That makes the problem for people who are marginalized and cannot get free legal aid. Now, there has been arguments about the BNS. BNS, which has been introduced as the decolonization of acts, uh, covers now covers 18 of the uh, 18 punishments which leads to death penalty, and one of them is sexual violence against women and children. Mm. The author says that we often forget that the culprits or the accuser who accused it are from the are from our society only, and hence make an comment about the Justice Verma Committee, which have said that death sentence does not necessarily act as a deterrence against crimes such as sexual violence, including gang rape. These argument has not been considered by Union Cabinet while framing BNS, and not 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 and not considered by West Bengal government also. But the author makes it a diverse problem where uh, where there has been uh, he advocates for victim-centered procedural institution reforms, that is Beta Padhao Beti Bachao kind of initiatives, policy initiative to eliminate patriarchal notions of the honor of the family, community, and nation residing in female bodies and virginity. These are the issues. Now we have to address these issues rather than giving a capital punishment. Capital punishment, author says that it is it is negligence of accountability which state has to provide. State has to provide better protection to the female rather than act after the incidents that has happened. So there has to be improvement in in culture of the society rather than giving capital punishments. So this was about the first article. Then the same article on the side, which you can see is West Bengal government enable West Bengal government has conducted a meeting with junior doctors, and they have made some demands. This no, we will do it once the Supreme Court makes a decision. Then we'll do it. Now, there has been article about Israel and Hamas issue. Now, Israel has been into conflict with Hezbollah, Hamas, and Yahudis, the three H. This article is basically why Yahudis are attacking, because it is instigated by Iran, as we all know, and it is fulfilling both the objective to keep Israel busy and also favor Hamas. But uh, after this, on 18 September itself, there was an attack called pager attack, which took place. It's not mentioned here, but I've recently seen in news. Which took place in Yemen, the southern part of Yemen. The pager attack was the pager was used as a communication device between the individuals of Hezbollah and Israel by gaining its technical advantage over those pagers have led to burst those pagers whenever that has led to 3,000 plus deaths of Yahudis. So that is what you can relate to it. That is what you can understand from this article. This is not for us, but you can just keep it in mind for geopolitical issues. Now there is an article about demographic advantage. Uh, this article is the the India's, as it has been fastest growing economy, and the major factor which has led to its fast growing is demographic dividend. As of now, the median age is around 28 years. 63% of the population is in working age, but labor force participation is 55.2% only, according to ILO. This is this is because of the service-led growth, which is kind of a jobless growth. The author cites the 16th uh, Finance Commission advice by Arvind Pangaria ji, who said we should promote labor-led economic growth and promote MSME to provide employment as their backbone of economy, and modify the labor laws by uh, by by accepting the new labor laws, and states have to take a step to to accept those labor laws. In the next paragraph here, here the center has made efforts in manufacturing sector. There is still a sector which is unorganized and non-agriculture sector that still holds 19% of workforce. That has to be turned into the organized sector rather than being unorganized. The 19% of the workforce has to be converted into the organized sector. Skilling is one of the major things which has to be provided. The new education policy is one of those which has been effectively tackling these issues and providing skills at the various uh, level various level of education. Similarly, AI/ML has proved to be a hindrance in providing employment, as machine is learning self is machine is learning itself. The human interference in the production process or in the manufacturing process has been decreased. AI/ML itself is estimated by Statia to grow nearly 9 times to become $826.73 billion worldwide market by 2030. India has been the second largest talent pool uh, with a with demand and supply. with a current gap of demand and supply of 51%. You can use this as a conclusion in your answers to gainfully employing a large young aspirational population is not easy, but it is far better challenge to have dealing with an aging one with its attendant economic and social implication. India is in sweet spot and must employ a holistic approach to create a talent pool so as to harness the demographic dividend for the benefit of the world at large. This can be used as the conclusion for your article. Now, the next article is regarding the claims which we have made in Paris Agreement by 2030. The next 5 years, as the author says, the next 5 years is actually crucial. It highlights five uh, critical changes which have to be made, fostering collective responsibility, proactive investment in clean air initiatives, integrating sustainable development, leveraging data-driven intervention for precise action, and recognizing clean air as a driver of economic growth. These are the five changes which has to be needed to accompany uh, to to let the climate crisis into climate advantage. The author have cited the use of the share of renewable energy has still been less, that is only 22% as of now in the energy mix. The major contribution is by and coal and coal and other non-conventional resources. The green, the act, actually the environmental issues that needs urgent attention due to usage of coal and other and emissions of gases. The key environmental issues that urgently need attention is include reducing heat stress, improving air quality, managing waste, and enhancing energy efficiency. We at this stage understand the energy crisis, but but businesses have to look this as a opportunity rather than as a challenge. India is highly vulnerable to heat stress and may soon face heat waves beyond human survivability limits. And this can be reduced by minimizing the impact of CO, and minimizing the release of CO2. And in this, author have stressed on methane emissions as the major target. As we know, GHG emission, as we know, the warming potential of methane is much more than the CO2. It's about 14% higher than the CO2. Hence, the author has emphasized on the use of the reduction of methane and and also have cited about the the methane pledge which was taken by United Nations, European Union, China, and other countries. Uh, the author also gives gives the uh, gives a gives a suggestion to implement Montreal Protocol, Kigali Amendment, and uh, and Paris Agreement together, where Kigali Amendment has been effective in in uh, eliminating flue gases, which is expected to reduce the temperature or which will help in regulating the temperature of zero point 0.5 degrees Celsius for the at the end of the for the end of the century. Mm. Author have cited a really good problem in this uh, article. The Lok Sabha election which took place in 2024, the voter turnout was low because of the heat wave, because of the climatic changes, and that was not addressed even inside, even while appealing for the vote. And that is the biggest issue. Climate progressive leadership is must in India to to drive in the resource, to drive in the population and give a better place to live in by controlling these emissions and approaches which have been mentioned in the article. now the articles which are state specific, I'm not considering them, but you can economic EAC PMS, it stands for Economic Advisory Council to Prime Minister. That's the thing. It compares various states and various um, union territories, which tells the per capita income from 1990, before 1991 and after 1991. So that's the thing. Mm. Now there is an interesting article about Russia and China. As you know, uh, I would like to keep a question to you. If Russia has to choose India or China, whom would he choose? That's the article all about. Russia and China have shared grievances against dual hegemony of dollar and swift messaging system central to the current global financial system. The growing Sino-Russian relation has been a deep concern for rest of the world and for India also. Beijing has Beijing has been a great source, has been the only and a majority country to to take the exports of the Russia. Majorly, it takes export of exports from Russia, about of for the oil and natural gas, and it also imports less to the Russia. That makes that makes China as a one stop market for Russia. So China has been playing a big role in Russian economy after sanctions. Here in this, I'll try to express this thing. After the sanctions by USA, the USA has froze about $300 billion of Russian foreign reserves held overseas. Overseas means in uh, various different what do I say central banks other than Russian central bank. Similarly, China also have $770 billion of reserves in US Treasury. Now the question arises: can the central bank keep keep the reserves into other central bank? Yes, they can keep. So this is the issue. This is the thing that has to be noted, and you can use these and this in the examples also. Then we have uh, then we have then there is a system which has been developed by China to bypass and SWIFT, and it is known as cross-border interbanking payment system, which is homegrown payment system settlement system of China. Though it has very limiting role, its role is within China and not spread over it spread over the large continent. But China tried to propagate it by proposing de-dollarization, and even India has trade relations with Russia, in which we have traded in Nostro and Vostro accounts, which we have the learned in the economics also. Over past few years, China has completely dethroned the EU as Russia's primary trade partner. Moreover, it has absorbed majority of Russia's losses emanating from reduced trade with EU. China has been uh, playing really wise to reduce Russian debt and provide it with the sufficient sources to run its economy. And hence, China has been a mm, has been a savior for Russia after the imposition of sanctions. So these are the various things, and also one more thing: the Chinese economy and Chinese import of Russian products, Russian energy, and Russian mineral oil and natural gas makes Russia a trade surplus country with China. That's a big boost to Russia's economy also. Now there is a question about mm, there is a there is a next article about the telescopes. Telescopes, it is it is just for general science, I understand, and it can be asked. There can be questions about where is the telescope, what are the types of telescope. In this, they have discussed two type of telescope: giant telescopes, which uses parabolic mirrors. Uh, there are and other one is refracting telescope, which is used for observing fainter cosmic object. The lens size is much bigger in the refracting telescope. The largest refracting telescope is an EX observ- observatory in US with a lens size of 1.02 meters lens. The common misconception about the telescope is they are used they are used to view astronomical objects appear larger. Instead, their primary function is to enhance the brightness of celestial objects measured by the light gathering power. So it's not we are seeing it rise, we are seeing it bigger or larger. It's the amount of light which we are receiving. There has the question arises, mm, why why the telescopes are kept at a height. Uh, we know James Webb and Hubble are kept outside the atmosphere. Because of the interaction with the atmosphere, the light sparkles. You can see the twinkling effect with our naked eyes. That hinders the view of telescope, and hence we place it over the mountains where air is thin. There is minimum refraction by atmosphere, and also or at the or outside the Earth atmosphere. There has been some names: large binocular telescope, extremely large, extremely large telescope, and there is a telescope from Japan, Subaru telescope. These are all telescopes which are mentioned here. These are the diagrams also which you can look at. Very large telescope, extremely large telescope, Keck telescope, 30-meter telescope, Grand telescope, Subaru telescope, South African large telescope, New telescope, giant Magellan telescope, large synoptic survey telescope. Also, you can comment what all telescopes are there in India. Now let us move to our next section of the news. Here I'll be discussing about the schemes which has been announced in these 100 days of days of this in these 100 days of NDA government. That the actual schemes I will be listing on the Telegram channel, and then from there you can read those schemes. The recently on 18 September they have completed 100 days. So there are key schemes which has been there accord which has been highlighted by BJP and specifically in Narendra Modi's speeches. Uh, they the government has committed to build 3 crore new concrete houses and announced 2 lakh crore package aimed for uplifting the youth. Subhadra scheme, which we have discussed yesterday, is one of those ben in one of those is one of those scheme where we have talked about universal basic income too. The government the government will fund the first monthly salary of young professionals when they join private companies. There has been increase in number of seats, 75,000 seats in medical colleges. There has we ha The government has green light to connect 25,000 villages with concrete road. Uh, there has been tribal development programs also, where 60,000 tribal villages would be undergoing special program for development. There is also There is a remarkable new pension scheme that will give government employees better pension. Government employees eligible. They make eligibility to government employees. Income tax of the middle class or middle income has been reduced, and these are few examples. That there is one app, Avas Plus 2024. It is related to Pradhan Mantri Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin. It's not for urban. Remember this. Awas Plus is for Gramin. It's not for urban. That you have to write. The MSP of Kharif crop has been increased. Indian farmers' uh, export duty on basmati rice has been reduced, promoting exports from these uh, these these schemes. I'll be posting it entire. I'll be posting on Telegram channel itself, so you can look it from there. In the recent press conference held by Amit Shah, we have conveyed involvement of various agencies to look out the various railway railway mishappenings which has been causing since last 4 or 5 months, and and that has been addressed by him. Finally, the JNK have completed its election, and it was completed peacefully. Now, as there is five finger policy of China, the recent claims of Mr. Jaishankar that 75% disengagement has happened, but that is not visible on the ground. The areas of uh, the areas of Domchok and Demsang has been still under still under still under military presence on both the sides, and this has happened after 2020 military face off at the Galwan Valley and these five areas. PM Modi is has a trip planned to USA where he would be meeting the Quad members, India, Japan, Australia, USA. We'll read about this more in more details in uh, upcoming days. Now let us take a quick view on the first page where Atishi, Mrs. Atishi is now the present Chief Minister of Delhi, and it has both pros and cons. Pros are pros are that the government would be able to complete all the all the pending bills, such as employment for the youth bill and various other bills, which was pending and was in the manifesto of AAP. And there have been criticism by BJP and other political party, and that is basically political news. So we don't have to read it between lines. That's it. Okay, so the questions I'll post it on the Telegram channel itself, and then I'll provide the answer also. So let us conclude our discussion for the day, and I'll improve on day by day. I've got some recommendations or I got some suggestions. I'll imply it, and soon you will be getting better sound quality and better things. So I hope you like the session. Thank you for listening to me, and have a nice day.